So this is the assembly instruction video for the Pram shadow box pattern. You get written instructions as well, but I just thought it'd be quite nice to see it actually play out. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all the layers cut out here. I used a scan and cut, and on the pattern you'll find that the layers are all numbered, so it's easier to keep track of where you are. And I actually cut this out to size 7.75 of an inch, 7 3/4. That's a little bit small. I wouldn't advise going any smaller than 8, and I'll show you why. This layer 3 is quite a good example to show you why, because one of the bits here, these fine intricate little bits, one of them has actually come away from the center prong. I can get away with it with this because that's going to be stuck onto another layer, so it's not going to give us a problem on that. But yes, if you go too small, it does cause problems. Obviously that's been kinked as well, because it makes it a little bit more difficult to take it off the cutting mat as well when it gets a little bit small like that. So I got away with it, but yeah, I wouldn't advise it. As I say, 8 inches I would say would be a minimum for this pattern. Okay, so I've got the written instructions that are printed out in black and white here to the side of me, so I'm just going to follow that through. So step 1 is glue layer 1 on top of layer 2. All right, so we'll take those 2 layers out. I'll put those to one side. Excuse me. So here we go. So because these are the fine ones, we see where that's going. You just place it on there and you can see where each of those are going. So we've got the edge of the clouds here. That one doesn't need doing, but this flower does. And then these bits and that flower. So not these bits at the top there. Okay, so I'm going to use collal glue. Okay, I find that's quite good. You don't get the where it starts to sort of bubble up or anything like that. But I put it into one of these applicators, particularly for these little intricate bits. So we're going on to the back of layer 1. Okay, and so we're just going to put, you don't need much, just wait for that to come down. You don't need much at all, just a little squeeze down, because it's so fine it takes a little while to come through that fine nozzle. And I'm just putting dots, okay, so that'll, and then on that bit there, oh, you can't see that. Okay, bring that into view for you. Okay, and again we're just doing little dots along there, those up to there, but not these bits. The flower, this flower, as I say, you're not being too worried about this, not those bits, and then some bits along there just to keep that into place. It'll all flatten out as we put it together, but it's just those, and then you offer it up and get that into camera view for you again. Yes, I'm just lining up the bottom at the moment. Okay, just line that up like so, making sure the flowers are lining up nicely. That's what I like about this collal glue, you know, you've got a bit of open time as well to just move those into place like so. And then the top bit there, that's all lining up nicely too. Okay, so that's step 1. All right, and then so step 2, we're going to glue layer 3 on top of layers 4, and then 3 and 4 on top of layer 5. So go through that again. So it's layer 3 on top of layer 4, and then those will stick together and then they will then stick onto layer 5. Okay, that's just come along with it. So okay, so we've got those 3. So 3 onto 4. So we just again bring that down. We're just going to see where we need to glue. It's obviously around this bit, and then it's all of that pram area and this bit. Okay, so let's again wait for that to come down like so. Do it on a bit that's not quite so intricate, so if it does come down in a big splodge, it doesn't matter. And then we're just putting dots. Okay, and then we've got to attach that, so 3 and 4 onto 5, and so again offer it up, and we can see it's these edges here, and then make sure we don't catch the inside of this but the edges, and then these areas, and then obviously the frame as well. Now, if you do want to bling this up a little bit, then do that before you stick these on. For instance, you might want to bring some shading in. It can be done at a later date, but it is easier to do it before you're sticking it together. I'll give you a quick idea of what I mean. I'll show this properly later on, and there'll be photos of it, but this one being blinged up really beautifully, and you can see the shading here, so that's going to be easier before you glue those together. Okay, but we'll have a look at that later on. Next step, glue 6 onto 7, so we'll put that to one side and we'll get 6 and 7, so offer it up so we know where we're gluing. Okay, so it's the cloud, the edges of here, the edges and the flower, not these bits. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. And this is where the fine nozzle helps, because I can just go in there like that, and that'll be done like so. 8 onto 9. This is quite a simple one. We just need to avoid those gaps. So there we have it on those. Okay, so I've switched to this version so you can see what's possible with this pattern to actually bling it up a little bit. So put in these little star-shaped little flowers on the pram here, and just some shading and lines and little dots around the stars there. So what we need to do next is to start putting it into the frame. So I'll bring the frame across. and put that to one side there. So so you want to put your frame face down on your surface, like so. Okay, and then if you place the layers in order, so 1 and 2 first. So here's 1 and 2 stuck together and face down. And here we can see on this version, I just used scraps of card and rolled up and glued into place for the spaces. That has the advantage, obviously, of creating the spaces to any size that you wish. So here we have the next 3, 4 and 5 layers. Okay, again face down like so. And then the next ones, which is 6 and 7. Okay, turn over, face down, pop those in. And here they're just zigzag rather than rolled. And you just put glue on the edge and just put them into place, and that holds nicely. And then the last ones, we've got the 8 and 9 layers, and then the final layer 10 there. So again, face down. Now then, okay, so what we find with this is here's the frame to go back in. Okay, if we put that in, then there's not enough space, obviously, because a lot of the space is then taken up by the spacers. Sometimes it can just fit in, so I just move these out of the way for this one and get those notches out of the way. There we go. That may just about fit in, but then you wouldn't get the back plate on, but you could stick with some sticky tape, etc., and then that'll hold it in place. But if not, obviously I haven't put the glass in at the moment. You may have noticed that's just for the photography point of view, because you'll just get all the reflections and you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So obviously this will be a bit higher up anyway. And then, as you can see, this frame is from IKEA, and so I think they've changed this one now, Rebar, but that's because this is quite an old frame. I think they've changed it from what it used to be. Okay, so put that in place. These are obviously not going to work with it, but we can just fold those in. Oops, and they fall out. We'll just fold those in. You can remove them if you want. Easy enough to move. And then we can stick this down with tape, or what I do is just use some foam tape or similar and just stick that where we want that to go. You might need some extra strong glue. I have noticed these do fall off sometimes. But it just gives you the idea of what you can do to make that work for you once you've got your layers in there. Okay. As I say, I think moving forward I would add a bit stronger glue in there, but just for speed. So you can see, I'll just hop those into place like so. Just got one in there, so we'll just put that there. And you might need to double them up if it's not quite deep enough to hold it in place. Okay, so that's it, all assembled and ready to gift or put on your wall. And I think you'll agree it's a beautiful design. Okay, and you can see all the layers there.